contract with an organization, and I have come in possession of some knowledge which I did share today with you about marketing material. I didn't tell you the name of the company, but I've shared everything else. Why can't I do that? Why should I hesitate in doing that? So what? I have not violated any ethical guideline of the contractual conditions that I had with that company, in which they did not say that I cannot share whatever I learned in that interaction with others. They did not ask me to sign that. And even if they had, I wouldn't be able to accept that. In fact, that was one of the issues. In that contract that was signed yesterday, there was a claim that this organization, which is giving us travel grant for the international conference, will have all the IPRs. I said, look, this is only travel grant. What IPR they can hold? Can they hold on the IPR of the people on the paper that they will present here? No. That's not my interpretation. My interpretation is, if there's any IPR involved in managing logistics of travel, that they can have. All right, fair enough. How to find the best travel route for different people at minimum cost. If you want to have IPR on that, please have it. I don't care. You understand? Very clear. I said, forget it, yeah, don't worry about it. Nobody can. By travel grants, you don't get IPR on what people do after travel. Obviously. But there are clauses. Sir, why do they put the clauses there? Fellow asked me. I said, look, these are agreements which are designed for multiple purposes, for multiple service contracts. These people don't try to adapt these contracts for specific purposes. I didn't use the word lazy contractors, but lazy legal officers. But
and also they are not knowledgeable. They think that the papers are being presented. If I can get hold of these papers, I have so much of knowledge.
No, not that. No. They didn't reply. To be fair to them, they were certainly not asking for IPR on the papers. But what I'm saying is, this may be designed for a contract where you may have asked some people to write a paper, for example. Then the organization has a right to say that you cannot share this paper without their permission. That much they can say. Copyright they can have. If it's a contractual, because we can't share contractual consultancy reports without the client permission, right? That's fair. But the knowledge that I gained from doing that report can never be restricted. That report cannot be shared. That's right. That's the IP property. But what I learned from writing that report, how can somebody prevent? Because I used a lot of knowledge for it. They did not pay, which I used in writing the report. Isn't it? I didn't begin with the zeros, otherwise they would not have given me a contract. They have given me a contract because I have some knowledge with me. That company hired me because they thought that I could do something with their force and make them creative and innovative. Correct? Otherwise, why would they pay me? But that means that they are getting benefit of service which they have not paid for. Correct? But what they are paying for, I can use the knowledge at least gained in that interaction, that workshop with other people. I am doing that in the class. How can I be prevented from that? But yes, the exact content of that workshop, the people, the name, this and that I will not share. The rest I can share. So I'm saying the managing expectations of different stakeholders, including those who have paid for teaching me this, some of the building blocks that I'm sharing with you, I have to manage all those expectations as reasonably as possible. Because otherwise I will not be having more opportunities to teach or learn and share.
So basically when you have a conflict of interest between the person and the professional staff, if it is a very messy boundary, how do you judge?
I would say, I'll give you an example, but the best possible way in that moment will be to uphold the most exalted human or ethical principles. In other words, ask yourself a question: who will be hurt by this? Huh?
I thought you were coming up with talisman, long distance.
No, that is one, but there's another example. What happened? There's an American university in Washington. Allende was the president of Chile. And this university, under contract with CIA, Central Intelligence Agency of US, the spy agency of US, wanted to destabilize Allende because Allende was a leftist ruler. And Americans don't like leftists. So they hired a Chilean working in America, American Chilean, an anthropologist. Designed a research project on forces of stabilization and destabilization in societies. Made a research project, asked this person to go to the Vice Chancellor of Chile University and work out a contract so that they can do this study in Chile. Thankfully, because they were a good university, they also sent this proposal to many other professionals around the world for their feedback. One of them was John Galton, in Geneva. John Galton is a very eminent thinker, philosopher, developmental scholar. When he saw that, he smelled a rat. He said, these fellows cannot be meaning well. They are trying to understand the force of stabilization, destabilization, but actually they want to understand destabilization. They want to understand how can we destabilize the lending. So it's a conspiracy, which ultimately they threw him away, you know that. And Pinochet, the dictator who murdered millions, if not more, in that country and ruthlessly ruled that country. Antithesis of anything that is considered as good governance. So he's immediately contacted the Vice Chancellor of Chilean University and told him that somebody might approach you for a research proposal of this kind. Ask him hard questions and work out whether they are really meaning this or they mean something else. So when the scholar went to the Vice Chancellor took out his facts. At that time there were no emails, facts. And asked him that, look, I understand there's a research proposal beyond what you have just shared with me. And you are trying to understand this. Are you serious? What do you really want? He was flabbergasted because he found that he knew more than what he did. Next day there were headlines in the newspaper. The Vice Chancellor gave that proposal an entire correspondence to the press. The US government is trying to destabilize Chilean society. This is called Project Camelot. There's a book by Horowitz. The title of the book is Project Camelot. It was this mission was called Project Camelot. So, what was that consequence? And now look at how the professional societies, how individuals deal with this. So, American Society of Anthropology felt very disturbed by this. First ethical guidelines by any professional society were developed after Project Camelot. Because they said that if you are involved in covert research, this was a covert research, the ostensible research purpose was different from the espoused or explicit research purpose. They said no member of anthropological society can participate in covert research. And if you come to know of it, you are not eligible to continue as a member of the society. You see the point? So, while on one hand the society is trying to do something which is sinister, to my mind, I have no hesitation in saying that, no matter how much one may dislike communist or right communist, but you cannot destabilize societies like that. And on the other hand, the professional society proved to be the harbinger of truth in this regard, and they said, no, we will uphold the best possible professional standards. Then other societies, sociological society, political science society, they developed professional code of conduct much later. That was one of the first. So, when you talk about stakeholders and conflict between personal and professional, is that what you said? Personal and professional? As a personal value, as a professional value, this scholar is doing what he's supposed to do. As a faculty member contracted for a particular job, reasonably well. As a professional, there was no guideline at that time which prevented him to do that. So he's not violating the professional norms, but he's violating kind of ethical norm that you don't do something by withholding the real purpose. So he's not disclosing fully the purpose. He can claim that I didn't know the full purpose. That's possible. And you can forgive him for that if he didn't know the full purpose. Maybe he was due to the pawn and the knave. But the university and the CIA cannot be forgiven for that, no? And the director of the CIA should hear this. Now, of course, it is well known now.
But now, if I use this example as a student, if I have to do a term paper and it's qualitative, and obviously it's an example of interviewing people, why would a student be okay, or even the professor be okay that we go to a community which is at a low socio-economic status or something like that, and try to, and it's just for a topic or something like that, an idea is given. Is it right to go and question them just because they will be open to answering. They do not know like the ethics that go into. I mean, if even if we tell them that you can always say no, like you give them, but do they understand that they have that power to say no and
Sorry, if they know,
like to say no to being questioned? Just a general questionnaire if asked to them, which may not be for their, eventually it may or may not help them.
what may not help them?
The questionnaire or the research question the student may be
You will not disclose them why you are doing this?
No, you have disclosed, you have done everything because you are a student. So I'll give you my own example. So I wanted to understand the issues of the street hawkers in Ahmedabad. I went around New City and the old city. So when you go to the people in the old city, they have a lot of issues as street hawkers and personal issues because they have been destabilized because of the government, state government and everything. So the first question is, they ask you, will you be able to help us? And at that point of time, I'm very clear that no, I'm doing it as a student for my own purposes. So is it right at that point of time to, I have already done that, but then still ask them if they are okay with it?
Yes, it is all right to tell them that, look, I will not be able to change any material condition for you directly. I have no power, I have no influence, and I also probably, I must honestly tell you, I don't have time to engage in a long-term struggle because I'm doing my educational requirement. But I think what I can do is to share your problems with society at large. Maybe what I will do when I write my paper, I'll send it to you. Summary will be in Gujarati language so that you can read it. If you know reading writing, will you say yes, I know. So now I'm obliged to give you a copy of my summary in local language. That's the first thing I will do. Second, I will show you before I share with my professor so that if you want me to delete something which you think I should not quote you on, then I will get your clearance before I submit the assignment. I will do that. And thirdly, if you think that this paper can be useful to you for your own struggles, I will let you use it. These are the three things I should do actually. Because then that person says, okay, now you are part of my struggle. You are not joining me, you will not join me morcha, you will not do anything. But whatever you learn from me and process it, and in some sense, if you want to use that knowledge that IMS student has done the study and they found that street hawkers face this problem, you don't trust us, you will distrust an IMS student, you will not mind using your report for that purpose. This is the minimum I should do. And I will show you how we started this process. 1993, I got Pew Scholar Award, Mr. Michigan, there is a foundation. At that time, it was quite a big award, $150,000 for 3 years. And you were supposed to give, only 10 scholars in the world are given this. Mother Ghatley was another one who got it the same year, 93. Mother Ghatley, myself. And they ask you 1.5-page report every year. It cannot be longer than that. And the only question that you have to answer is, among 3 questions, one of the questions is, did you achieve what you wanted to? Could you do what you wanted to do in influencing public policy, society, or your profession? Simple questions. In 1.5 pages, you can answer them. Right? Because they put entire responsibility of using the award money on you. You will use huge diligence before they give the award. Once they give the award, it is your business. So if I wanted to study about IBM at that time when WTO was not yet 95, it came about, I wanted to go to various patent offices in the world and see how they use IBM. Can I use it for the poor? Which is what I was working on at the time, NB Network. I could go to anywhere I wanted. I could do anything that I wanted. No question asked. I have to decide. Great investment, in a profession. Wonderful. At that time, I wrote 3 papers, among others, 3 papers, 94. The first meeting after the award, the Pew Scholars. Ethical guidelines for accessing biodiversity. And ethical and moral dilemma in dealing with people's resources, something like that. I'll send you those things. Then we sat together and I said, why can't all of us develop a collective guidelines for doing research with people? The question that you're asking. And I'm reading them. First I will read the principles underlying these guidelines. What are the 4 principles? Research is an educational process leading to mutual learning among researchers and the researchers and the collaborating individuals, communities and institutions. Correct? First principle. It is an educational process. You are not just doing research. You are telling that worker on the street how good research should be done, which is not his business. But how can that person learn from your research, because you will be talking to other workers. He has no access to what other workers think about. So you are educating him about what other workers think. And you will share your findings with each worker. So they will all get educated about how the working class thinks about this problem of the street hawking. Education process, they are educating you. You are also educating them. The mutually learning process. First guideline. Second, just as the proprietary right of scientific knowledge are well established, copyright, patents, and respected, such rights are due to the producers and provider of traditional knowledge and contemporary innovation from local communities. You can see the language. You understand? The rights that you have over your paper, they have the same right over their conversation with you. No dose asymmetry. These guidelines were developed in 94 first time. Because these were questions at the core of my heart. And I said, it's not enough if I believe in them. Every professional of this subject should believe in them, isn't it? How will they believe them unless they participate? So then I said, I will prepare the background paper, but this will be a general collective guideline. It will not be my guideline. It should not be called as Anil Gupta's guideline. Correct? Third, research should be based on respect for local cultural values and norms. Institutional. Accountability. So, supposing you are a man and you go to a woman for bicycle, as the case may be, woman could report talking to man. And if that culture is not considered proper to talk to them alone, then you would ask her to call somebody. Can you call your children? Can you call your neighbor? Can you call somebody? I have to discuss it. Because in that community, you will be seen improper if you talk to them, talk to her alone. Now, you may say it is unfair, but at that moment your responsibility is not to question all those norms that society has. You respect. So when this lady in Udaipur, south of Udaipur, Bhilwara, Banswara, niece of Malika Sarabhai, Mrinali Sarabhai, his sister's daughter, who was having a social movement, name will come in a minute. She was staying in a tribal area, organizing the tribals. And we went, Raghunatha, myself and many others, we were visiting Banswara, so we went to see her. So she came to see us outside of our settlement, about 100 meters out. Our land was there, we couldn't go to her. There's a hillock on which she lived. Name will come. Ravi knew her because he knew Mrinali and Mrinali sisters, daughters, so we knew them. She said, she welcomed and said, can you wait? Let me call me. And then later on we asked her, why she called me? She said, look, you know what? You are coming in a van. You are outsiders. If I talk to you alone, there will be rumors in the community. Why did I talk? And all my labor of all these years will go waste. If I sow the seed of distrust and discord. So they should know when I talk and to whom I talk and why I talk. They have every right to. Therefore I did not talk to you. And I did not talk to you. Not that there was anything worrisome in this. You are respected, uncle, and so on and so forth, and all of you are respected officers of mine. But the norm of our society is that we will not talk to anybody alone. And whenever we talk, somebody from the community will be present. This was the norm, local norm. This is how you respect it. So now no worry about that. People will know what we talked. converse example I'll tell you. In Jaguar we were doing a study. There is a book, Learning to Learn. And there was participatory study we were doing with bank offices. We were looking at the poor, and through the eyes of the poor they were looking at society. So one of the visits, we parked our vehicle outside one local tribal's house. And the person said, sir, you parked your car little away this time. I said, what happened? Last time people suspected that I would have got some money or some wealth because of outsiders coming to my house. And next day thieves came and tried to steal something from my home, thinking that I must have got some wealth. I don't want another attempt like that. Please park your vehicle right. This is like mentioned in the book. So there are norms. When somebody comes from outside in a big vehicle, people think they will, this fellow who's outside whose house you are parking the vehicle, you are empowering that person, at least in their eyes. And you're disturbing the social equilibrium. And you may not even realize it because you don't know what the local cultural and customs and norms are. This is the point. You may do more harm to him than good. So, respect means you should be sensitive. Fourth, benefit should accrue to all partners in a fair and equitable manner. If you write that assignment and you publish it and you get an award of $5,000, is that $5,000 yours? You understand what I'm saying? I have to face this question every day. If I give talks, which I wear, I use Honeybee Networks examples, and I get consultancy fee, which I do get off and on, I have to share that amount. And 360 is from a person, I can't share that officially belongs to IIM. So I can only share my share of it, which is less than 50%. But I have a share every year. So if I did 14 lakh worth of consultancy last year, I must share 7 lakh, which I did for this social innovation fund educators. I have to do that. I cannot enrich myself at the cost of the network. You understand that? Do I become poorer? No. Am I need less of you? So do I need that? Of course, all of us need money. But then there are other legitimate activities. But as simple as that. That paper that you wrote on street hawkers, if it gets an award, you are accountable to share that award. You understand what I mean? I'm not saying you must do that. I'm not saying that at all. Please don't get me wrong. I have no right to summarize. But I'm saying, and ethically, I mean, this clause of ethical research will imply that you will share in an equitable manner. I'm not saying you share entire 5,000. Maybe you can keep 50% for yourself. 50% you can share, that's okay. That's fair, to my mind. And you can decide what form to share. You can print the copies of this in $2,500 and share with all the workers in that society or that locality. Or you can organize a small seminar and give the cost of tea and biscuits at that seminar, and that will be sharing. You can decide what form to share. There are many ways to share. Doesn't mean that you have to share cash itself. But that amount of money you don't keep for your personal consumption. That's all what we're talking about. Use it for the working class, the class which gave you the data for that paper. That's all what we are saying. In what form, when, how much is your business to decide. So you may say that, sir, I needed that money at that moment very badly for participating in a conference. It came very handy, so I took my ticket and went to the conference. But then I will certainly give it back someday. So right, your word to yourself. Who's asking you? Nobody's asking you. You're not accountable to anybody except yourself. Those workers are not asking. This guideline, they don't know. Unless you tell them. Correct. You can tell them if you wish to. And mention that if anything comes out of this work that I'm doing with you, I will share with you fairly. I may not get anything out of it, except it, and I can't share it with you. But I can have a party with you. If I get a good grade, I will come and have a party with you. That's my promise. Okay. Not bad. You have many parties every day. ठीक है ना? एक दिन उनके साथ चाय पी लोगे तो क्या नुकसान है? उनको नहीं अच्छा लगेगा? तुमको अच्छा ग्रेड मिल गया अगर उस पेपर में, जाके चाय पी ली तुमने उनके साथ, चाय का खर्चा ज़्यादा नहीं होता है, लेकिन वो जो है ना उनको अच्छा लगेगा कि अच्छा हमने जो बताया था तुमको A ग्रेड मिल गया। A ग्रेड का मतलब क्या होता है? मतलब सबसे अच्छा ग्रेड, सबसे अच्छे नंबर मिले मुझे। अरे बच्चे खुश हो, वो आशीर्वाद दीजिए। अभी कुछ और जरूरत पड़े ना, आ जाना हमारे पास, भगवान तुम्हारा भला करे, तुम अच्छे नंबर मिले, ऐसा आशीर्वाद देंगे ना फौरन। उन्हें कभी भी आ जाना, तो किसी भी टाइम आ जाना। सुना भाई बच्चों, सुनो, सबको बुला लेगा वो अपने पास। मुझे मंजूर है। वो लगा देखो हमने उस दिन बात की थी ना इस बच्ची से, उसको सबसे अच्छे नंबर मिल गए। अपने बच्चों को बताएगा देखो ऐसे मेहनत करना तुम। You have done so much at that moment. By your taking a cup of tea with that, you have inspired his children. You have given him happiness. What did it cost you? Just a cup of tea. 20-25-50 रुपए की चाय के खर्चे में क्या फर्क पड़ता है? नहीं करते ना हम लोग, नहीं बताते जाकर उसको। बताया तुमने जाकर उसको? What grade did you get?
I got a B.
All right, doesn't matter.
But
May
I
not
did
be.
go and meet them a couple of
It's good. You know what I'm saying is that it doesn't really matter. Don't be embarrassed by asking this question, but since you asked this question, it's a good question, and I'm just describing the process. This process makes us accountable. We get the last point, embedded in society. Institutions have to be embedded in society. Society from which we draw the knowledge and resources. Ultimately, whatever we are doing is going back to society in some way. It may go as a positive influence, it may go as a negative influence. It may go as selfish, self-seeking people of IMA, or it can go as a societal, generous people of IMA. Isn't it? So the image of the institute, image of IMA, depends upon how each one of us conducts ourselves in society. Correct? IMA's social capital depends upon each one of us. We are proud to be a member of this community because this institution has given us so much. It gives us the courage to say what we want to say. It gives us the autonomy to say what we want to say. It gives us agency to do what we want to do. You know this autonomy and agency? Autonomy is freedom to take decisions. That's the autonomy. Agency is ability to act on the freedom. Agency is ability to act. Agent of change, isn't it? Agency comes from agent. I have agency, that means I can act on freedom. Autonomy is freedom. Sometimes I have autonomy but not agency, sometimes agency not autonomy. But there is a tension between the two. We need both. Giving freedom to people is not enough. You should build their capacity to use that freedom. Correct? Similarly, we have already discussed that. This point was left out. So I will not go into detail, I'll send you this, but please read it. And it gives various norms of how the research should be done. And this can be applied to different norms. So I'll send you this. But what I'm trying to say that when we develop these guidelines, we realize that not many people may practice it. That doesn't matter. They're available on the web. I just searched on the web. They're available on the web. Anybody who wants to know what is the right way or what is the ethical way of dealing with people's knowledge and resources, they can find it out. And they can use it the way they want to use it. The papers which are at the background of this are also available on the web. Same journal Jubias which published this also published these papers. So they are all available on the net. Alright, so let me close now. We have only 10 minutes. We will not have a break, obviously. There is no break today possible, but doesn't matter. I think we have, we couldn't spend as much time for it because it was not possible, but the next class, I would request, because this continues to be on the institution building process, we can reflect on for 10 minutes quietly. But when we reflect on this, the whole discussion that we had today, we can see that for each of the dimension, we can bring the same richness if you wish. So you can decide, each one of you can decide one of the dimension, and maybe bring the dynamics of that dimension. So for example, domains. How do we create this institution building process in any particular domain that you can take? And how will that create cross-domain responsibility, cross-domain knowledge, cross-domain networks, various things that we discussed, social networks. So naturally you need networks across domain to be able to draw on them, isn't it? Then you will have those structural holes, you will have all the tensions that are there across domain. So when we were talking about app for the health lifestyle for that worker, now he has to draw upon the network of app maker, correct? Who are very different people than the people who work on the health guidelines or who manufacture medicine. Why should he do that? He is only a medical representative. But if he considers himself responsible for larger society and various other things, then he will say, no, no harm. I know something. You know, there's an app I was told which reminds you to drink water. Have you seen that? There's an app apparently. I've seen, I'm not downloaded it. I should actually. But it's a good app which reminds you every hour if you wish to remind yourself that you take a glass of water.
Sir, isn't it too much?
यार बात ये है कि लाइफ हमारी ऐसी खराब हो गई है कि जो ऑब्वियस चीजें याद रहती हैं। सही बात है, गलत है? मुझे बताओ कितना गिलास पानी पिया कल तुमने यार? बताओ मेरे को। अच्छा, अगर याद आ जाती तो पी लेते ना शायद। पीना तो चाहिए पानी, नहीं पीना चाहिए कि पीना चाहिए? कायदे 6 लीटर पीना चाहिए। 6 लीटर पिया क्या हमने कल? नहीं पिया होगा ना यार, मैंने पिया ना, तुमने पिया नहीं पिया ना?
But no, it's according to the body, depending on the body.
ठीक है यार, तुम एडजस्ट कर लो ना उसको। मत लगाओ 6 बार, 3 बार लगा लो, 4 बार लगा लो, 2 बार लगा लो, वो तो ऐप है ना। पॉइंट इज नॉट दैट, पॉइंट इज व्हाई डू पीपल क्रिएट पब्लिक गुड्स? दैट इज द पॉइंट वी आर ट्राइंग टू मेक आउट, दैट दिस इज एन ऐप व्हिच विल नॉट गिव एनी रिटर्न टू द पर्सन हु डिजाइन्ड दिस ऐप। उसको तो फायदा नहीं होगा, तुम अच्छा पानी पियोगे तो उसको क्या मिलेगा? फ्री है ना। Why do people create free apps? वो तुमने देखा एनिमेशन वाला, वो जो इंट्रिंसिक करेक्शन वाला देखा था क्या? Have you seen that? देखा था ना? मोटिवेशन वाला जिसमें so सिंपल है। जो पब्लिक गुड्स क्रिएट करते हैं उनको क्या मिलता है? सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलता है ना। ठीक है, थोड़ा सुख मिल जाता क्या बुरा है यार? खर्चा क्या हुआ? थोड़ा सा टाइम लग जाएगा, 2 घंटे लगे होंगे उसका ऐप बनाने में, ठीक है। So I'm saying that you can go on to any domain, any scale, and then exemplify the tensions in the institution building process. How will we do that? And if you can do that with your examples, I think you're going to get it. Then we would be feeling reasonably in command over the broad content. Then in the remaining classes we'll go and amplify each one of them. For example, power. We'll discuss, we have a session on power. So we'll spend more time on power. Similarly on, what are the other sessions? On interdimensional linkages, I think we have one session. So we will exemplify all of this in the remaining classes. But I'm saying in next class, we'll spend a little more time, take a few more examples, just the way we took of authority, and look at the tensions in each. So if we can, in the next class, we can identify the tensions in each, I think we have done it all. If you just identify the central key tensions in each dimension, that's all we need to do next class, nothing more. Cover next class?
Wednesday.
Today is what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that means 12th. Same time? Or evening?
Same time.
Same time. Huh?
No, it's in the morning.
Morning. All right. मॉर्निंग में अवॉइड करो, मेरे लिए बड़ा टफ होता है मॉर्निंग में आना। नेक्स्ट टाइम से कुछ अवॉइड क्लास है 9 o'clock, बट इट्स ओके दिस टाइम। सो ओके, डे आफ्टर टुमारो, इज इट एनफ टाइम? विल यू गेट एनफ टाइम और यू वांट टू चेंज समथिंग? डू यू नीड मोर टाइम फॉर दैट? देन वी डोंट हैव टू हैव वेडनेसडे, वी कैन हैव इट आल्सो। व्हाट इज द थर्सडे को क्या है?
13 already
वो town paper presentation.
एंड 14th क्या है?
We don't have anything. 15th evening we have class.
Sir, 13th we have exam, other 3 don't have sir.
नहीं, वो ठीक। So then let us do that way, that only 3 who don't have exam will prepare for
Yeah.
the next one.
Four.
4 of you who have no exam. तो फिर तुम दोनों करो ना मेहनत नेक्स्ट क्लास में। So let us have the class then. But remaining will come and contribute whatever they can. But the 2 of you at least contribute more. And after the exam, थोड़ा टाइम निकाल जो एग्जाम के बाद में, हाँ? So that and then so my suggestion is you decide among yourself who will deal with what dimension. And एक चीज़ और करो कोशिश, when you prepare for your classes, supposing she's preparing for power, you are preparing for inter-organization network. When you are searching literature, you come across some paper good for inter-organization, you should pass it on to him, and he should pass it on to you on power. You understand my point?
We have.
You're doing that already? Good.
Google Drive पे
ड्राइव पे डाल।
Yeah, we have used that.
हाँ, इंस्टीट्यूशन बिल्डिंग एप्स बनाया हुआ है, तो मुझे भी दिखा दीजिए। शेयर कर रखा है मेरे से, नहीं किया ना?
कर
कर देना, मेरे से शेयर कर देना शेयर। तो मेरे पास जो है वो भी डाल देना केस में, मेरे घर के कंप्यूटर से भी निकाल लेना। बहुत सारे पेपर मैं सेव करता हूँ, सब तो नहीं शेयर करता हूँ, बट ऑल दैट आई हैव शुड बी शेयर। तो दैट इज़ वन थिंग। सेकेंडली, जो कमेंट्स है ना आपके पेपर के ऊपर, जो आपने सिनॉप्सिस बनाया है, थोड़ा सा टाइम निकाल के आप लोगों को भी कमेंट करना भाई, सेंड ए रिटन कमेंट, हैव ए हैबिट। डीके देसाई थे यहाँ पर हमारे यहाँ सीए में, जिन्होंने एस्टेब्लिश किया, जिसकी वजह से मैं आज यहाँ पर सेंटर फॉर मैनेजमेंट एग्रीकल्चर, ही यूज्ड टू डू दैट। उनको कोई भी पेपर आप कमेंट के लिए भेजो, विल सेंड रिटन कमेंट्स।
Internally also we try that.
I'm saying that, do that, a kind of memo to her
Kind of do
from
that.
me. I read your paper, these are my suggestions, so these are my observations. I like, possibly begin with a positive statement, something that impressed you most, begin with that statement or that part. People become more receptive to criticism when you begin with a positive statement. So it makes sense. So begin with a positive statement and then start with whatever you have to say. Correct? So that will be meaningful, and so I mean what I'm saying is that we will follow the institution building process in the class. So then we are having class as per normal. We are not changing
So
anything.
Wednesday,
Yeah, class is fine.
हाँ right नहीं वो सिर्फ दूसरा
All right. Anything else that you would like to react to? We have few minutes.
There are specific papers which we felt are interesting or good. मतलब कार्लाइल का हीरो वर्सेस था जिस पे बहुत डिस्कस हुआ, so it's not exactly fitting this framework.
No, it is.
We thought we'll present that paper and critique it properly.
No, hero worship as a concept.
As a concept, not just that paper, but the entire concept.
No. You must do that.
so like.
But one suggestion I will make. Have you read the paper? Have you read the footnotes of the paper?
I think yes. I mean,
So
you know
that
the
paper-
context at that time. Do you remember the context? Can you tell me what the
I
context?
searched for it. I mean, I was not.
So the paper given to us was just hero as king.
No, but
we
you
tried to.
the whole paper
broaden
is
it.
available on the net.
हाँ, छह
Full book is available.
6 lecture.
पूरा book available है. You remember the context at that time? 1800, 50,
1840.
1841. Now 1841 में क्या हो रहा था मालूम है कुछ? याद है?
Utilitarianism gaining.
हाँ, but what was happening in England at the time?
There was industrial revolution,
Before industrial revolution, what was happening?
Protestant Reformation.
Yes, but what was happening to make industrial revolution possible?
So the divine rights theory has lost ground, and
Growing agnostic.
mercantilism has.
One of the essential,
Scientific.
the cursor for industrial revolution was what?
Scientific.
1841 में जब इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन शुरू हुआ उस समय की टेक्नोलॉजी के हिसाब से सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट रिसोर्स क्या चाहिए था? ओ लेबर। तो लेबर के लिए क्या किया उन्होंने उस समय? हाउ डिड दे मैनेज टू मूव लेबर? लेबर को नहीं मूव करेंगे तो कैसे मिलेगी लेबर? और लेबर जरूरी थी उस समय, तो कोई कैपिटल जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी तो थी नहीं कोई वहां पर, ठीक है ना? तो क्या किया था उन्होंने उस समय? देयर वाज अ पर्टिकुलर मूवमेंट, व्हाट वाज इट कॉल्ड? What was that movement called? थोड़ा सोचो, या पढ़ा है हिस्ट्री पढ़ी थोड़ी बहुत?
So you are seeing moving people from rural countryside to cities, and
There was a movement they had to. So you are right, but what was that movement? What? Oh, forget the word movement. What would they have done?
Urbanization. Growing urbanization.
नहीं, अर्बनाइजेशन तो कल से कहाँ ग्रो हुआ, शुरू हो रहा था ना इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन, तो उनको लेबर चाहिए थी, तो क्या किया लेबर को? अगर मूव करना है रूरल एरिया से अर्बन एरिया, तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? और पुश करना पड़ेगा, पुल और पुश दोनों होता है ना, तो कैसे पुश किया हुआ उन्होंने?
desensitize किया होगा.
यार क्या तरीका किया था?
Wages.
हाँ?
Wages.
पेजेस तो बहुत बात है, शुरू में तो बड़ा एक्सप्लॉइटेशन था ना भाई, इट वाज अ हाईली एक्सप्लॉइटेड कंडीशन। एमिली जोला के नॉवल पढ़ोगे तो पता चलेगा कि जब माइनिंग में लेबर की जरूरत पड़ी थी कितना लेबर का शोषण होता था उस समय। नॉवल जर्मिनल या अदर नॉवल्स पढ़ो एमिली जोला के पता चलेगा। बट व्हाट हैपेंड दैट टाइम? एनक्लोजर मूवमेंट। So what happened was that there were a lot of lands to which poor people had access, whether for grazing or for walking through and so on. There were rights that individuals had on commons or private land used as commons for certain purposes. Once enclosure movement started, people started encircling those properties, those rights of livelihood were taken away. And livelihood became costlier and more difficult because now you have to go 20 miles to go to that point. Earlier you could walk through. तो आपका आधा दिन तो चला गया आने जाने में सिर्फ, तो वेजेस क्यों मिलेंगे पूरे दिन के आपको? तो आपकी तो लाइवलीहुड आ रही होगी ना वेजेस, कि आधा दिन काम करोगे तो थकान हो गई ज़्यादा, प्रोडक्टिविटी कम हो गई, you were forced to migrate out. That is how people moved out. It was not just pull, it was also push. And why I am saying this, it is in that context that Cromwell emerges. है ना? तो जो context है institutional change, मैंने क्यों पेपर को चुना है उसको, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है। उसके दो तीन कारण है। मैं जब स्टूडेंट था मैंने उसको पढ़ा था, मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा था। एक तो कारण है बड़ा पर्सनल, बट फ्रॉम आवर कोर्स पर्सपेक्टिव इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज शोज द connection between the societal context, the context then determines various processes through which society is creating new institutions. From a semi-feudal to feudal past, it is moving toward industrial society. तो जो टेंशन होती है ट्रांजिशन की फ्रॉम वन सेट ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन सोसाइटी टू अनदर सेट ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन, तो गिल्ड बननी है, अभी गिल्ड बने नहीं है, बन रहे हैं, समझ गए ना? गिल्ड्स वर एसोसिएशंस ऑफ प्रोड्यूसर्स। अब प्रोड्यूसर्स अपने लिए कलेक्टिव नॉर्म बना रहे हैं, तो एक इंस्टीट्यूशन बन रही है उसकी गिल्ड। लेकिन वो नॉर्म अभी ट्रेड यूनियन नहीं बननी शुरू हुई है, मार्क्स ने अभी लिखा नहीं है अपना दास कैपिटल। लेकिन ये टाइम वही है जब हेनरी जेम्स लिख रहा है विलियम्सटाउन के अंदर अबाउट द राइट ऑफ कम्यून्स अमेरिका में, वो कम्यून्स के बारे में बात कर रहा है। मार्क्स लिख रहा है, मार्क्सिज्म अपने थ्योरी बना रहा है लेनिन और एंजल के काम के ऊपर बेस करके, नॉट लेनिन, एंजल के काम पे बेस करके। हमारे यहाँ भी फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल हो रहा है, फर्स्ट फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल जो थी, मतलब वो टाइम बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है जिसमें ये अपीवल चल रहा है दुनिया के अंदर। बट इन आवर कंट्री एंड माइंड यू, रेलवेज केम अराउंड द सेम टाइम टू इंडिया। बेलापुर शुगर फैक्ट्री की जो पहली रेलवे लाइन है महाराष्ट्र में अहमदनगर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, वो विद इन अबाउट 1 year or 2 years of railway being set up in UK came to India within a year or 2. So we are catching up with the industrial revolution around almost at the same time. Extractive process हमारे यहाँ चल रहा है, अलग अलग प्रोसेसेस हैं, कॉलोनियल सिस्टम था तो नेचुरली, बट आई एम सेइंग कि वो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग टाइम है। हमारे यहाँ राम मोहन राय कब आए?
1830
समझ रहे बात को? तो रिफॉर्मिस्ट मूवमेंट हमारे यहाँ भी चल रहा है। तो देखो उन चीजों को साथ में कंटेक्स्ट में डालो, थोड़ा सा समझो ना बात को, समय को समझो थोड़ा सा। एक ही समय है जब चर्च और स्टेट को वहां भी सेपरेट कर दिया, तो 500 साल पहले कोशिश की थी, लेकिन अभी जब ये क्रॉमवेल आता है तो क्रॉमवेल लेजिटिमेसी कहां से ले रहा है? वो चर्च से नहीं ले रहा है, सही है ना? तो मतलब इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग इफ यू कैन सी द सोशल एम्बेडेडनेस ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशंस एंड व्हेन यू ट्राई टू ब्रिंग न्यू इंस्टीट्यूशंस इन प्लेस। जो अर्लियर कंटेक्स्ट है और जो नया कंटेक्स्ट है उसकी जो टेंशन है, जो डायलेक्टिकल टेंशन है उसकी, उसको कैसे रिजॉल्व किया, इसलिए ये जरूरी है। मतलब व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज दैट दिस इज एक्सट्रीमली रेलेवेंट। ऐसे नहीं डाला इसको, and I am happy if we keep that because I'm sure we will enjoy that. But when you do that, bring the larger picture also into it, so that we see these tensions in a different way. Maybe we'll add some more dimension. ये जो लास्ट वाली डायमेंशन है ये बहुत एम्पलीफाई है इस केस के अंदर। सोशल एम्बेडेडनेस के लिए वो बहुत अच्छा पेपर है, क्योंकि वो सोसाइटी में दिखा रहा है किस तरह के इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं क्राफ्टिंग और ग्राफ्टिंग का जो मैंने आज को पेपर भेजा ना, वो वाटरशेड वाला, उसमें मैंने एक सेक्शन है उसके अंदर क्राफ्टिंग ग्राफ्टिंग, और उसमें मैंने पेज लिखा है 17-18 पेज नंबर, कि कैसे टेक्नोलॉजिकल ट्रिगर्स क्रिएट इंस्टीट्यूशनल इनोवेशंस एंड इंस्टीट्यूशनल ट्रिगर्स क्रिएट टेक्नोलॉजिकल इनोवेशन। वो उसमें टेबल, when I enjoyed writing that paper with many colleagues, of course, Srinivas House में आके लोग थे। तो you will see that जब last example of the day, जब इंजन का इन्वेंशन होता है, इंजन क्यों डेवलप जरूरत पड़ती है कि माइंस के अंदर जब नीचे जाते हैं तो पानी आ जाता है। अब पानी को निकालेंगे नहीं तो माइनिंग कैसे करेंगे? पानी को निकालने के लिए इंजन के इन्वेंशन करेंगे। You understand how the engine was invented? Not for locomotion. हॉर्स कैरेजेस चल रही हैं अभी भी। अभी जेम्स वॉट ने महसूस करना शुरू किया है कि भाई स्टीम बन रही है, कुछ करना है। लेकिन स्टीम पावर्ड व्हीकल तो पहले बन चुकी थी जेम्स वॉट से पहले। जेम्स वॉट वॉज नॉट द फर्स्ट वन टू यूज स्टीम। हम कहते हैं ऐसा, लेकिन हिस्ट्री पढ़ोगे तो पता चलेगा। When you read the history of engine or history of motor, तो पानी निकालना है माइंड से, लेकिन उसके लिए इंस्टीट्यूशन चाहिए ना। इंस्टीट्यूशन क्या चाहिए कि एक ऐसी इंस्टीट्यूशन, अगर आप इंजन खरीद नहीं सकते तो आप किराए पर मिल जाएगा, लेकिन मैं इंजन आपके पानी निकालने के लिए बनाऊंगा, मतलब कि मुझे आपके नीड को आइडेंटिफाई करके उसके लिए सॉल्यूशन डेवलप करना है। ये तो नई इंस्टीट्यूशन बन रही है। पहले तो लोग अपनी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए खुद ही इन्वेंशन करते हैं ना। अब आप कह रहे हैं नहीं, मैं सॉल्व करूंगा आपकी प्रॉब्लम को। दैट मीन्स a new contractual relationship is emerging, new kind of contracts, R&D contracts. Is the point? ये सब कहानी है उसने उस शब्द के अंदर, तुम लोगों को निकालना पड़ेगा उसमें से। So you have to read between the text and isolate those processes. तो जब प्रेजेंट करोगे ना तो उसको पूरा पढ़ो, 2-3 बार, 4 बार, 5 बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा उसको। पढ़ के फिर निकालो उसमें से कि ये हो क्या रहा है सोसाइटी में। क्योंकि नाउ यू हैव द एडवांटेज ऑफ व्हाट यू कॉल hindsight. So you can see how those processes, जब ये लिखी गई किताब, उसको मैं क्यों यूज कर रहा हूँ यार? This is one of the most well documented book I have come across which describe the process in such a great analytical rigor. थॉमस कार्लाइल ने कमाल किया इस किताब में। It's one of my all-time favorites. And we can learn so many institutional lessons from it. So I'm happy that you said so. करो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, we will do that. But I'm saying we will continue to use the framework so that we can derive our lessons. एक conceptual seed रहेगी ना, तो हम लोग lessons उसके ढंग से निकाल पाएंगे। Otherwise बिखर जाएंगे lessons हमारे। So I want that henceforth. If you want to modify, you modify that. उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं। You can always modify. We should modify it actually as we evolve. We will have maybe some tensions, new tensions will emerge which we may have ignored today. वो हम ऐड कर लेंगे। ठीक है? Good.
मेल करके पूछ लेंगे, मेल करके पूछ लेंगे।
ये So was it all right today?
Yes, sir.
Get something out of it? Abhay?
Yes.
मुझे भी मजा चाहिए क्लास में, खाली आपको मजे नहीं